Tell us about yourself and how you got into tennis.
Okay, so I'm Simon Shipman. I'm the chair of the North London Lobsters, chair of the committee, and we are an LGBTIQ plus tennis group here in North London in Finsbury Park. So that's my kind of role and my connection with tennis. I started tennis about 7 or 8 years ago. I think it was 2016. As a way of making friends, of being outdoors, of being sporty. I had a couple of mates who were playing tennis, and I saw they were having a good time, and I just thought maybe that's for me. I'd never played tennis as a child or at school, but I'd kind of followed the tour a little bit, so I was kind of aware of it. And it seemed like a good thing to get into. So that's how it started for me. Yeah.
What did you do outside of tennis?
I've had a career in technology. I worked in the NHS out in Australia, which is where I started my tennis. I worked in local government, but I've done other voluntary roles before. Giving an example of that, back in the 90s, a long time ago, I worked for a charity called Food Chain, which delivered foods, specifically Sunday lunch, for people who were suffering with HIV/AIDS, and the sort of good nutrition was a very important part of treatment back then. It was a dreadful disease, now much better treated and managed. Yes, that was something I did for the community, and that was a very rewarding role. And I've done other voluntary things as well. But yes, my proper job, if you want to put it like that, has been in technology.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So about your volunteering role with North London Lobsters, what do you do for them? So you're the chair?
Yes, so yeah. We've got a committee, we have an election every year, and people volunteer for the committee in different roles. We've got like a social media person like yourself, we've got a social secretary, we've got a vice chair, and I'm the chair, so I'm kind of leading the committee. We've got 10 people in the committee, and then in the club itself, we've got more than 250 members, not all of whom play, because we couldn't possibly get them all on court. I guess we've got maybe 50, 60 who do like really commit and play regularly.
So what is the role of the North London Lobsters? What are your targets?
Yeah, we want to break down barriers to get more people involved in tennis, and we want to create a safe and welcoming space. So we feel that many of our members wouldn't join an ordinary, if I can use that word, tennis club. They probably wouldn't join an ordinary sports club, full stop.
Yeah.
These aren't people who've necessarily had much of a sports background. When they come to us, we hope we can create a place where they can be themselves, they can be true to themselves without any kind of judgment. And we see that a lot. People really do come who've never been in any other sports club or any other sports setting, and certainly hadn't thought of tennis before. And then, excuse me, when they get to us, they keep coming. They love it once they realise this is available for them.
What kind of sessions do you offer?
Yeah, we've got 4 sessions a week now. We just launched a 4th session last week. We're really excited about that. And we have a mixed ability social doubles session on a Sunday afternoon. We've got an advanced, we've got to have a specific session for our advanced players on a Monday evening, also social doubles. On a Wednesday night, this is the brand new one, we've got another mixed ability social doubles but at a different venue. So most of our sessions are in Finsbury Park, but this new venue is called Rosemary Gardens down in Haggerston towards Shoreditch. And then on Thursday's our big one. We've got 24 players on court. We do coaching, beginners coaching, intermediate coaching, and then simultaneously with that we've got a social doubles session going on.
Okay.
So that's big, yeah.
And then who leads the sessions, and how do you get like players that are starting off with you more involved into the other sessions?
Yeah, so we have a host at each of the sessions. That's somebody that's there welcoming people, organising the thing. That's on a rota, so people in the committee take turns doing that at all of our sessions. And we've got a coach, we've got a dedicated coach, so he does his thing, and we try to encourage the beginners to kind of not stay in the beginners forever, to put their head above the parapet and go for it with everybody else, and normally that works. So there's a bit of a pipeline of people, and as I was explaining, we've also got an advanced session. So eventually we see people come all the way through and get up to that advanced level. I mean, it's fairly flexible in terms of abilities. So we've got all a whole variety of abilities, and we're not going to tell people that they're like beginner or intermediate or advanced. It's up to them to decide that. Yeah. The way we play social doubles is we do a sort of 2-hour session, 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we split up, so the winners go one way, the losers go another way. So in that sense, by the end of the 2 hours, you've sort of got the better players up here and the less good players at the other end. So there's a sort of natural distinction. Yeah. So people are playing with players of roughly even level. Yeah. But as I say, very varied about the skill levels across the membership. But we're proud of having a whole mixture of abilities and a mixture of genders and a mixture of sexualities in the club. And we've got some allies. I don't know if you're aware of this concept of allies. Yep. Who support us. So it's not just a question of gay men and lesbians and bisexual and transgender people, but really everyone. Yeah. That's a crucial point. And
do you do tournaments and special events as well?
We do, yes, good question. So we're just going to launch a singles tournament soon. Okay. I think it's going to kick off in the middle of June, and we're going to run that through the summer, and that will culminate in a finals day towards the end of the summer, where we'll do semi-finals and finals all at Finsbury Park. That should be quite exciting. Get some spectators down, have a picnic. We play against other clubs, so we're the North London Lobsters, but bigger and older than us is the South London Smashers. Bit of rivalry there. So we had the Smashers up. We hosted them 4 or 5 weeks ago for a doubles tournament, and we won. Nice. Very pleased about that. So yes, we do that kind of thing. We're hosting the Brighton group soon. That's just going to be a friendly. It's not really a tournament. So yes, we've got connections with these other queer tennis groups regionally, and we hope to build on that. I mean, there's LGBT tennis groups right around the country. Really strong group in Manchester, for instance. Yeah. Cardiff, Glasgow, Tyneside, and so I hope we can build more connections with them.
And what would you say to someone who wants to get involved with your group? How do they get involved?
Yeah, so they can join our app. We've got a booking app which is called Spond, SPOND. They can find us on social media, on Instagram, if they go on the Access to Sport website, we've got some information there as well. So there's a number of ways to get in touch. If you just Google us, you'll find something. That's probably the easiest way.
How do you recruit volunteers within your group to then join the committee at a later stage or help out with the coaching or leading a session?
We ask. It's as simple as that. So we've got a WhatsApp group, when the new committee's getting elected. So the last time that happened was February, so quite recently. And so it kind of in December we're saying there's going to be a new committee. Some people who are on the committee agree to continue. Some people step away, and that's fair enough. And we say, we've got these roles, and there's a bit of description about what that is involved with that, and then people put their names forward, and then we have an election, and people can say yes, we want that person.
And do you find that people want to get involved and want to step up to the roles? Because
they do actually. Yeah. Amazingly, I always staggered how committed people are and passionate, and maybe we're just lucky in our club that we've got this group of people. Part of that is about leadership. I think if they see people at the top putting a lot of work in and creating something special, they want to get involved with that, and they want to have they want to have their input as well. We've got a tournament person as well. We've got a competition post on the committee. A guy called Stephen, and he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. All sorts of different skills people bring into this. It's inspirational. It really is.
So why do you volunteer? Why have you stepped into the role? And you talked about
that's a good question. I get a lot of buzz out of seeing people improve, and I think sport has a real transformational power that is largely untapped in the LGBTIQ+ community. People. So how do people find community? People can go out. Maybe they go for a drink somewhere, or there's apps where you can meet people and things like that. All of those things totally valid, but have their drawbacks. This is a space where you can come and take part in an activity that normally makes you physically healthier. I believe it has mental health benefits as well, and is addictive in a very good way. Something that you want to come back to again and again. So I see all those things. I see the positive impact that has on people's lives, it's certainly done that for me, and I want to kind of pay that forward, if you like, and encourage other people to do that. So that's why I do this voluntary role. But as I said earlier, I've done a lot of voluntary work, and I think it's wonderfully fulfilling. People benefit from what I do, but I benefit from this as well. It's a two-way thing, that's great.
And what would you say to someone that wants to that's looking to help out or give back in tennis at their venue, not necessarily, or your venue, but what would you say to them?
Oh, do it. Go for it. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. If it's something you love, something you feel passionate about, go for it. Yes. It's a lot of work. It can be a lot of work. It's responsibility, but ultimately that's really rewarding. You get to meet so many interesting people. I think this is probably the single biggest benefit for me. I get to meet every week. I meet new people, hear their stories, So, sorry to digress for a second. After a session, we go to the pub.
Yeah.
And so you get to hear why people have come and how they've heard about us. We get people who come from all over the world, so they've got fascinating stories, all very, very different people. So I think somebody else in a different club would have similar experience of getting to really get to know people and inspire people. So do it.
Great. Is there anything else you want to add to the video?
No, I mean, just thank you, Sangeeta, for giving me the opportunity to talk about all this. We love what we're doing here in North London Lobsters, and it's great to raise the profile of the club. I was honoured and very surprised to be awarded Volunteer of the Year in the LTA Awards for Middlesex, so thank you for that. We had a great night at the awards do. I know you were involved in that. Tennis is such a great game, isn't it? And such a great connector. And we can use that to empower our community and transform people. So long may that continue.
Great. Thank you very much.